Hey everybody, welcome to another interview at rAge. Today we've got a very special guest. We've got Stephen Fillion. He's director on the game of Project Cars.
That's right.
Tell us a bit about the game.
Well, it's a racing game. Stake firmly planted simulation in. We're full out simulation. We're going for, bringing the sort of quality of simulation that we've had almost exclusively on PC. We're bringing that to console gamers as well. Obviously we're doing PC as well.
Yes.
Project Cars is primarily focused right now on PC, PS4 and Xbox One.
Correct.
So what we want to do is we want to give people the opportunity to experience driving simulation where everything is accurately simulated, not just going for pretty cars and going for accurately simulated physics on the vehicle. But the tracks are accurate, the weather is accurate, the experience more than anything is critical here. That is accurate. Because in Project Cars what we do is instead of you just being another race driver and you collect cars and you build up a collection of cars and you take part in the event, you actually sign a contract to become part of a motorsport team. So you pick a different motorsport. Now the game covers many different motorsports. At this point in time we have open wheel, we have GT, we have touring cars, we have prototypes, cars.
How many categories do you have?
There's quite a number already. Yeah. And then what happens is you sign off initially, you sign a contract, you become part of a team, and then they provide the car, so you don't have to buy the car, and we don't stop you from starting in Formula A.
So you can start anywhere you want, you don't have to start from the bottom and work your way up.
So this is a big thing for us, because we felt like there's been so many games that has come, driving games over the last few years, well, the last few decades, where it's always the same thing. You start off in like a beat up little, skadonk.
That's skadonk, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to work your way up, you earn money, you buy the next car, and you do this for like dozens and dozens of hours.
Yeah.
And then the next game comes out and you have to do it all over again.
You got to do it,
you know what? We want to provide you with living the fantasy, a way to live the fantasy of being a motorsport driver.
And right from the word go. You can
from the word go. So you say, my fantasy is to drive a Formula 1 car.
Yes.
Style car. And then you just go and say, well, go to the motorsport grid, there it is, that's where I want to start. And then you can stay there. You can just play season after season and do the same thing. If that's all you're interested in, that's great. If you do want to play the traditional way, you can start off in karts and work your way up all the way through to, top tier.
To the top tier stuff.
Exactly, yeah. Or you can start there and then go there. Because as you play through the game, other teams are monitoring your performance and they will give you contract offers. They will say, well, we can see you've been doing really well in this GT4 class and we think, you're the guy for our team to make our car really shine in a prototype series.
No, but now tell me, in terms of the contract offers, if you look at the fact now that if you're going to get any car that you want, well, how does it work? What do you get? Do you have to level up? What is there involved? When you win, is it bragging rights or do you get anything for it?
You do. What happens is you earn accolades in the game. Okay? It's just like in the real world. It's sort of like, a mark on your stick going like, I've won so many races, I've actually finished in the top 3 in this series, and so on. So the point is what happens is teams are monitoring you throughout the game. So what we're doing is we're simulating the real world motorsport world. We have a calendar, and on the calendar you can see all the events that's happening throughout the world.
Okay, and the various categories.
In all the different motorsports, not just yours.
Right.
And there's a news feed that actually gives you feedback on what's happening in the motorsport world, including the other races. So the sports that you're not participating in, we're simulating that at the same time as what you're participating in your sport. And you see news feed of those sports coming in. So for example, you would see so-and-so was best in qualifying in this series, and then, so-and-so won that race, won that series, won that championship. This guy's currently, so a constant feed. And then we have a social feed as well.
Okay, so everything's pulling through the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a big thing because on the social feed part, as you know, Twitter and all of this has become
a massive thing. Yes,
a huge thing. So you have fans all the time of motorsport drivers who's like tweeting and saying, we have this in game. So we have tweets happening all the time saying, I was really rooting for this guy, but I'm really disappointed that he didn't finish. Just comments from fans.
Yes.
So you have your fan feed, and then you have your feed from your team. So your race engineer will give you feedback based on how you did on the sport, and then you have news feeds from the media.
But it seems it's like a major social integration with it.
It is, yes. This is a big part of the whole experience of motorsport, right? It's not a solo experience. Motorsport is a massive incredibly wide sport.
Yes,
So many different people.
Well, that's exactly the thing. But now I want to ask you in terms of the categories. Can you take part in only one category at a time, or can you jump as you please back and forth?
When you sign a contract, just like in the real world, you know, you sort of like have to stick to the contract.
Correct.
We do
so you got to see it out.
We do provide a way out. Say, for example, you start in a series and you thought you were going to love prototype LMP3, okay? And it is a 6-round series, and you're getting to round 3, and you're really struggling. You're really not getting this, and you're just not. You have no.
It's not for you.
There is a way to say, you know what, I want to abandon the season. I don't want to do this anymore. And then you can go back if it's
and choose something else.
Yes, exactly. Well, if it's your first season, for example, what would happen is you could just restart and it will take you back to the grid and you can pick a new motorsport. If it's in your second season, you will have contract offers still waiting in your email box from other teams that would be interested. So you can say, yeah, exactly. So
that makes a lot of sense.
I'm sorry. For example, you get contract offers from 2 different sports. So you'd have contract offer from a prototype LMP3 and from a GT4 car. So you go and pick the LMP3, and halfway through you're really sorry you did this. You're like, you know what, this is not working for me.
Okay, great.
At least we provide a way for you to, you know, to say, let's go try the other.
So you got variety. You can decide your outcome. Tell me, in terms of the cars, how many cars can we expect at the end?
Okay, first of all, we don't go numbers.
Okay, that's actually makes me happy, to be honest.
Yes, I know. We spoke about this on previous projects, and this has always been our approach. Is we're not interested in providing you with hundreds and hundreds of cars where most of them, or many of them, are identical or very similar.
But will probably never be driven.
For most people, they don't even notice the difference. So what we do is we provide the cars that count.
Yes. So the ones it's going to be selected at some point are the ones you want.
Yeah, exactly. If you were playing out of a variety of 1,000 cars, these are the cars that you would most likely end up using the most anyway. So we focus on that. Okay. And we get those cars to be absolutely just brilliant in the game.
Okay, but have you got any idea what the number will be at the end, roughly? No.
I know, but I'm not telling.
but look, at the end, I guess it's also going to be growing with DLC going forward.
I can tell you it's more than 10 and it's less than 1 million.
Okay, great.
Does that help?
Well, there we go. You get at least 10 cars. Looking at the tracks now, I've been following Project Cars and seeing what's going on in terms of it. I see there's quite a lot of emphasis on the weather system and how it relates back from the real track into the game of what's happening on the day. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Motorsport, of course, is an organic experience. It is a guy getting in a car, having this sort of symbiosis with this machine.
Yes.
Where they become like, you know, we're on, man, we're going to do this. And when you're out on the track itself is an organic experience as well. You have the track surface, which varies depending. The effect of the track surface on your tires vary depending on the temperatures and the weather conditions and so forth. So we simulate the whole lot. We have an accurate system that simulates the movement of the sun and the moon. You know,
but everything is dragged into the game,
and it has an effect. It's not just pretty. Okay, so it's easy to say we have all this stuff, but it's just pretty. It's not just pretty. It actually affects things like, for example, with the weather system and the sun moving, all that, the temperature at the different time of day, which affects the grip of your tires.
Everything is so if you choose a soft, hard compound or so forth, it's all going to depend on
this. That. Yeah. So what would happen is you'd be qualifying, you'd be doing well, and you start the race, and the rain is pouring. It's just you know, it's just absolutely wet, and now you have to quickly decide what I'm going to do. So you can say, well, I'm going to go for intermediates and hope it stops raining soon. So because we also simulate. Again, motorsport, we simulate the whole experience of a race weekend. You have your practice sessions, you have your qualifying sessions. You don't have to play them. No. We make it so that the people who don't want to do that stuff, they don't have to. But the real petrol heads who want to enjoy that stuff and want to experience a proper simulation of a motorsport, they can go and do the practice sessions, they can tweak their car, do all the little things, you know, change their spring rate, pump stop, change the downforce, the whole thing.
Okay,
and then they can go into qualifying.
So is there pitting involved and all that?
Absolutely. You go into the pits, you can have a pit strategy set up, so you can say it's a 50-lap race for argument's sake. And I estimate I'm going to start off with enough fuel to get me to lap 25. And when I come in at lap 25, I want to add so much more fuel, and I'm probably going to need to change my tires, so let's put that on the list as well. But you can change your mind. When you do come into the pit, say for example it starts raining during the race, you can say, well...
And you need to make a quick pit stop,
Yeah, exactly. Now you can, that throws your strategy out, so now you have to change your strategy.
So you can override your strategy.
Exactly. So here's the thing, what I was starting off with is we bring this level of simulation fidelity to console players who's never had this experience.
Never had that kind of in-depth. Yeah.
Because we believe that there is a generation of console gamers who's grown to the point, matured to the point of where they want something deeper.
Yeah.
They would like, and we're absolutely convinced that once they experience this, there's no going back. There's just going to be, you know what,
this will be the simulation.
This is what it's like. And the truth is, motorsport is fun. People who drive for real in motorsports in the real world, it's a fun sport. It's not like, oh, it's just a drag. I don't want to do this, but okay, it's, you know, I get paid for it. No, it's a fun thing.
It's a loads of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, you know, we discussed beforehand the fact that you've actually got some drivers and stuff involved and giving feedback in the line.
Yeah, we do. We have some real world drivers, and this is amazing. We have, apart from on the team, of course, we have guys who do track day racing and actual real motorsport racing. We have guys on the team, like one of the guys who's our physics lead, for example, on the setting up of the car and all that. Arno, he's multiple champion in series in the US as well. But we have professional racing drivers who are active in motorsports on a daily basis now. For example, we have Nicholas Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton's brother. He's very active in touring car racing. So
right, is he involved with Project Cars?
Yeah, he's very closely involved and gives us beautiful feedback, detailed feedback on. He's very good at analysing the tyre model and all of that, and giving us feedback on what feels right and all of that. It's pretty cool because he's like his attention to detail is such that he was like sitting in the game, inside the game, in his car that we have in the game that's in the real world as well. And obviously he was like first focusing on the sim of the, you know, the physics and all that. And he was like, hey, look, the stitching is correct. You know, it actually looks like my car inside. So we do that, but aside from that, that's just nice that we have that level of detail. The important thing is what these real world race drivers bring to the table. And then in addition to Nick Hamilton, we have Ben Collins, of course, the guy who was a stick for a number of years, and amazing input as well for us. Ollie Webb, who's a development driver for BAC Mono, and also takes part in Europe here.
Another thing is, I'm aware that Le Mans, you can actually do the Le Mans, the actual 24-hour race.
You can, yes.
How do you think gamers are going to cope with that, racing for 24 hours?
Well,
or can you break it down?
Well, what you can do, what we've done is, yes, our system, because it has a real-time simulation of, you know, the weather system and the sun and moon movement and all that, you can actually play and you can set the time and date and say I want to start at 8 in the morning and play it for 24 hours. And then you will see the sunrise and, you know, go over the sky, set on the lights will come on around the track, you know, and then you may have rain come in depending on how you configure the weather and all that. But what you can do is you can say, you know what, I would love to play this 24-hour event, but I don't have 24 hours to sit here. I want to just scale it down to 2 hours. Then you can go.
So you can do it with.
And you have the slider. You can control it. You can say I want to scale it down to 12 hours. I can scale it down to 6 hours.
So you can decide.
But you still experience the whole 24-hour thing. So we accelerate the movement of the sun and all that.
So it's about that.
So you get the full experience, but scale down to 2 hours.
So you'll do the day and night driving at some point.
Exactly. And on top of that, what you can do is during the whole pit stop thing, when your car comes into the pit stop, you can say, you know what, I need a break, man. I need the bathroom, or I need to just go eat something, or I need to go sleep.
Yes.
I'm actually doing this in 24-hour real time. Then you can say, well, hand my control over to my AI team driver.
Okay, so I was about to ask you that.
He takes over and off he goes, and he just laps and carries on. He acts as if, you know, like a real driver would, while you're having a kick.
But is there any way, let's say for example, out the blue, I've got a buddy in the States, and I drive for the 12 hours, say, listen here, I'm done, you must be there at this time, take over. Yeah, online co-op Le Mans.
Online co-op is future.
But is there plans for it?
We're working on. Yes,
okay, that'll be great.
It's something that
would be a
we're
first.
very passionate about, and we will be doing,
Tell me something, the Xbox One, the PS4, PC, we know it's coming, but it's also going to the Wii U.
That's right.
What was the decision with that in mind? I mean, we know that Nintendo doesn't have much races or any simulations whatsoever, which it's great to have a simulation racer for the Wii U, but the PS3 and the Xbox 360 version are being sidelined, but the Wii U is on par in terms of tech while we're still doing the Wii U.
The Wii U is quite a capable console. It is highly capable, and it doesn't have a decent, like you say, decent simulation game. And we, together with Nintendo, realized that there is a market opportunity.
It definitely is. Yeah.
So, yeah, it just seemed like the right thing to do. We're still pushing forward.
And will that launch in time with the Xbox One and PS4 PC version?
We do not know the exact release dates.
Okay.
Our publisher at this point in time will be released releasing it from the exact release date.
Okay, and then look, my last question to you is, Stephen, and to our viewers, if you're not aware, I mean, Stephen, you're South African,
I am, yes.
you know, you're from Hermanus. Tell our guys how you got involved in the industry. I mean, I'm sure there are many potential people out there who want to do what you're doing, but they don't know how to go about it and how you got going. Maybe give a little bit of a background about yourself.
I get a very short version, because we are short of time.
Yes.
It really is down to commitment. You just need to have your focus on this is where you want to go, and then stay with it. Stay the course, as they say. And it may take a long time. You may luck in and it goes quick. For me, it was nearly 20 years of knowing this is the industry I want to work in, and actually get to
just pushing and pushing.
Working. Yeah. In the meantime, I just educated myself and all the sort of stuff that I knew would help me to do this job well. While I was working in the corporate world and all that, I would work at night time on my own, you know, programming, you know, graphics programming, you know, all this sort of stuff, modeling, whatever. All the little basic skills that you know would all build up to help
to put a game together.
Yeah, exactly. To help establish a foundation of your personal skill that you would be able to do this job well. And then you just keep pushing. The most important thing that you can do is to put together something to show what you're capable of doing. People don't want to hear about you have a passion for it if you cannot show
what you've done,
that you actually are willing to put in the effort to live out your passion. It's one thing to talk, it's another thing to do.
Correct.
So even if it means buying a license into Unity or Unreal Engine 4 or whatever, and building a prototype demo, vertical slice if you will, a concept that you have, and send that to developers and say, look, you know, guys, I'm very keen and this is what I can do. I can show you already. But don't just, you know, hang around and think it's
this is going to fall in your lap.
No, you got to go get it.
Stephen, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
And guys, if you've got any comments or questions for Stephen, let us know. We can get in touch with him and possibly get your questions answered, so let us know. Stephen, thank you very much, and we'll see you around soon again.
Will do.
Cheers, man. Keep on.